Hey everyone, welcome to a double feature of this Let's Play. This is a segment that's very important and very long, so I'm doing one take and then I'm going to chop it in two around the middle. And on a housekeeping note, I'm going to call these individual segments episodes rather than parts. Probably doesn't mean much to you, but for me it's going to help me with these multi-part sequences like this. Just good organization. But we left off. Arius and Nova had collapsed after their fight under the tunnels, chasing this guy, and now they wake up in this little hideaway that he's got, and he pulled them out of the tunnels after their collapse, and because Arius doesn't realize this, but Azor knows that he's really Lysander, and Lysander's pretty important, so he's not going to let Lysander die. And I guess he just took Nova along to be nice. But he's still trying to, fool Arius by giving him, some story, like, oh, it's all Seth's fault. But as you saw last time, it is definitely not Seth's fault. It's this council who are the real monsters. So yeah, they're gonna bicker and fight here for a while, and Arius gives it to him, which is just funny because it's very ironic, because these guys know these council guys know who he was, and now they have to get berated by him. Except it's not really him. But Azor heard something, and he is leaving to check it out, and I'm gonna go wake up Nova here so we can get out ourselves. Yeah, I mean, there's not much to say yet. I mean, this is a pretty basic sequence, but shit's gonna get real up in here before too long. Let's see, nothing in the cupboard. Let's get out of here. Let's have a quick look around this temple. It's one of those, one and done places. You're only gonna visit it once. Play a song. I think that's like the Robotnik theme from one of the Sonic games or something. Oh, sorry, Eggman. Yeah, right. Shit sucks. Robotnik forever. Anyway, so that's Summon to Save Bunny, and I think there's like another thing you can get. Yeah, up these ladders here. You can go to the roof of this building and get something. You get a staff for Nova. That's pretty cool. So we'll let her wear that. And I also got a handful of power-ups from the cave, so I might as well just, they're there. Power up. Spam them on Arius there, as if they're not already powerful enough, level 50. But this is like New Game Plus. I'm getting maxed out characters. I get to keep buffing their stats. It's kind of fun. So now Azor is confronting someone outside. 3 guesses who. And I'm going to come out. And... oh, there he is. Seth's got him right up against the wall. Man, that's a nice sprite edit. I wish I could still do stuff like that, but it got so much harder. without my beloved iDraw Character Maker 3, I can't do this kind of thing anymore. I'm just not really that good at Photoshop. I mean, I guess if I practiced a lot, but I'm too busy making these Let's Plays, so it'll have to be some other time. Oh, he fell off and leaves a nice smear on the wall there. Man, that's pretty gruesome. So Seth is taunting him again and leaving. He's about to hit Guardia, to hit the council specifically. And let's see if we can loot Azor. Whoops! He's definitely dead. I could tell by looking at his butt. There's a mind up in there. It's a weird little priority issue with that dead sprite, I guess. Let's make Nova a little smarter. And head back to town. And then, wait, come on, get a move on. I don't know, I had a little brain fart there. And then, yeah, here we are. We're too late. What's going on? Well, yep, the council hall is on fire. You can see a little hole at the top of the roof where Seth broke in. But he tries to get Nova to take cover, all chivalrous or whatever. But she's not having any of it. She's gonna fight, and he doesn't really put up much of a fight. Here's Galdar, and Turnus is wandering around somewhere too. You can have a different conversation depending on who you talk to first. Whoever you talks to, calls the other one over, and then they both join your party. So if there's someday maybe I can do a deleted scene, and you can see, not deleted, an alternate scene, You can see the Turnus dialogue if you really want, but it's probably going to be something along the lines of, shit, I hate Seth. He's a piece of shit. Oh, here's here's Ivory. She's wandering around. And she's kind of like childlike in Clean Slate. She's kind of like young for an elf, you know, which is probably like a couple hundred years old, but she's a little more worldly in Master of the Wind. But here's the burning building. We gotta go inside, fight some more pigs in diapers. Really, there's a lot of these guys. I'm going through them fast, but as usual, they don't stand up very well to my level 50 squad. So we're done with that, and then we're gonna find our weapons man here. And yeah, so he this is kind of funny because he's been wandering around this burning building, and he gets a cure from Nova, which is nice. And then he finds a weapon for Turnus, and he also finds a weapon for Galdar. So he was trying to run out of this burning building, and he was carrying like a giant axe and a gauntlet or something. But let's equip that stuff. Granite axe. That sounds awesome. I want a granite axe to hang on my wall or something like that. That'd be cool. And we got some more pigs up here, along with Connors, the Lodite, who we fought back in the forest. And Turnus is no fan of him, if I remember. Yep, he's really got a problem with him being scaly. I think Turnus has some prejudices he might have to work out, despite his devotion to Guardia and its ideals. This shall be our final meeting. Yeah, you always got to be careful when you say stuff like that, because it's open to interpretation, and the heroes can retort pretty well if they choose to. So let's use some really powerful attacks. Meteor, yeah. And then we'll have Turnus do is hit him. He's strong against water. That's right. Attack's not gonna do much good. Sword thing will tear him up though. Look at those pigs. Meteor. He dodged the meteor. Oh damn! It's impressive, dude. But this is gonna take him out. Wow, big damage on that one. Yeah, so I guess if he's resistant to water, that would make him vulnerable to, to thunder. That makes sense. Yeah, so he lost again. He's not happy about it. And it's hard to figure out exactly what he does here. I don't think he dies. It looks like he teleports out. But you never really see him again, so maybe I just forgot about him. But, as you'll see later on, this game has enough minor antagonists to fill a stadium. So we'll see them later. And now we have to confront Seth in that council hall with these big tears in the table. And you can see the dead bodies, although we're missing a couple. We're missing two, I think. Well, one of them got killed, in the other building. But Arius is gone. Huh. And, of course, the irony is this is the first time Galdar and Turnus are even seeing the council members, but they're not at their best, to put it lightly. And they still don't know the truth about everything with Seth. And so they're determined to make him pay, but really, it's Seth who just got justice. Even though it's a little extreme to burn a whole building down. But, I guess when your race gets killed, it's a little different. You're not really thinking rationally. And then now he's going to implicate Arius. Why don't you ask your friend there? Who, me? You daft idiot. Ouch. Yeah, they're about to fight, but he's taunting him with his knowledge. Oh, there it is. Should I call you General Lysander? That's the first time Arius has heard that name, since he lost his memory. And it's only going to get worse for him. Now the fight starts. Now this was a big, long, drawn-out fight, in the proper game when you're at the level that you should be. Even now, it's probably going to take a handful of turns because he has a lot more hit points than the other bosses that you've seen. But we'll give him my best. I don't want to baby him. We'll give him my strongest attacks and see how long he can stand up to them. I can't really use the fire stuff on him because he's fire. So we'll use the physical axe attack. We'll use some of Turnus' buffs even. These are some powerful buffs that Turnus earns at the end of the game. But of course I have them now because I'm on Medium Plus. Oof. He's waiting and watching? Really? I don't know. I guess in a regular battle when you're low level that would be kind of like a reprieve. But here it's just kind of like adding insult to injury. He's getting the crap beaten out of him. All he can do is watch and wait. Oof, that did good damage. Make it up. Because this little flame attack that basically bounces off of them. And now we're gonna this turn will probably do it. Oh, they have some more conversations. That's right. And actually, I think, when this fight dries out, I can get more, but they all kind of say the same thing. It's just Seth being like, I know something you don't know, and it's it's not hugely relevant. But this is big right here. This is when he finally hears the truth. Here's Lysander, you are the reason this town is here, and your memory loss is the only thing that saved it from total destruction. That's what they call a wham line over at TV Tropes. And now Arius is going to remember a meeting he had as Lysander with a lot of prominent Gallian folks back at the city, and he's got a grandiose plan to hit a bunch of the Empire's enemies at once, and he's quite confident in it. And basically, the twist here is that if you've probably figured it out by now, it's been a lot of build-up, but the whole town, Guardia, has been, invented by the high-ranking Gallians here. They set up a town. They put people in charge of it. They invited all the people who were victimized by the Empire to sort of gather there and find shelter. They let them kind of get lulled into complacency over a period of years, and then they were going to come and just wipe them out. They'd be helpless, and they'd never see it coming. And in the meantime, the council members would be, these high-ranking Gallian folks who would, but the downside is they would have to stay out of the public eye because, like he says later, and in a little bit he says, you never know who's going to recognize you, so you shouldn't be out in public as much. And that's the idea, and he correctly assumes that people would be so happy to find like a refuge from Gallia that they're not going to ask any questions. And I mean, this kind of cuts deep. I mean, even now, this was about this is probably about the Bush administration, given the time frame, a little bit. I mean, exaggerated, obviously, but or inspired, I should say, by the Bush administration. But you could apply it to really any politics. The way they use fear. I mean, that is a bipartisan thing, just taking advantage of people's fears and using that to get them to ignore their better judgments and just to kind of suspend their critical thinking skills, just fall for whatever you tell them. At least I think that's why people think gay marriage will destroy society. I don't know. But, so yeah, he's got this plan here, and he's recruiting some people to serve on the council, including Ariel. Now, Ariel, as you played Master of the Wind, if you played that, you know this, that she was sweet on him. She was sweet on Lysander. So she's like the only one, he's the only one that she'll act like a little kiss-ass around. Because she really just wants his approval badly. And now we're going back to the opening scene here, where he's on the ship, and eventually we get to the same lines of dialogue from the very first scene, except now we know that it's Lysander saying them, and that the ship that sunk was actually full of soldiers, all of whom drowned, except for Lysander. He washed up on the shore. But at some point, I guess he hit his head, and he became Arius. Now, I'm going to have to bring the first half of this to an end pretty soon. I'm looking for a good point to cut, and I think it's going to be at the end of this dialogue here. Oof, what's the name of it? It just made Seth deaf with that attack. So the two personalities are kind of squabbling. They're trying to, regain, fight for control, like Galdar just said. And it's a little creepy, it's kind of like him talking to himself. And, alright, but yeah, we're going to have to cut pretty soon. I think there's a fade out here that'll probably, right here.